Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Tuesday, October the 4th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the legend, the DFS supreme player, top-ranked lady in the United States, in my opinion. It's Miss Deb Lutz.
What's up, Coach?
How are you?
Good today.
Good.
All is good.
I'm getting a lot of my steam back too, so.
I hear it. Your voice is strong.
Yep, I'm getting there. Certainly better than I was this weekend. But we fought through it and we're doing much better. So really good stuff. And now we've got only 2 days of Major League Baseball left. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I'm so sad. This is our last MLB podcast, but not to be outdone by our first NBA podcast of the season. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Well, we still can go next Tuesday for playoffs. So I wouldn't say we're completely out.
All right.
Yeah. Because we have 12 days till the start of NBA. So that's when we'll shift from 7-day-a-week MLB podcast to 7-day-a-week NBA podcast. So that is just around the corner. I'm losing my mind about that. So
fired up. It's going to be a great season.
It's going to be a great MLB playoffs too. I mean, it should be fantastic for DFS purposes. There'll be some great contests, and it's always a fun time of the year when you've got all 4 major sports going at the same time. So it's we're almost there. It's good. It's good stuff.
Makes my head spin though.
It is a lot. I mean, you got to pick your battles, and you got to be a little bit more focused because you don't want to just throw lineups up there that aren't well thought through,
Totally.
No doubt. Well, let's see who's in here. Niles Simmons is the champ today. He is the first one in the podcast. So congratulations, Niles. Nobody was fast to the jump today. He was only 12 minutes ahead and wins the title today. Nathan Feudy right behind him. Lee Thompson, King of all trades. JT, Alan Hayes, what's up? Rose Miller, Earl Tyson. How are you, Earl? Aaron Sampson. Did we say Aaron Sampson?
Yeah.
Lee. Okay. Lee Thompson, Aaron Sampson. You guys sort of crossed me up there. Boy from Cali likes the sweatshirt. We're pulling out. It's almost winter. Basketball's here. You got to pull out the hoodies now.
Nice.
No playing around. Yep. Let's see. Earl Tyson. Yes, we're going to get to your FanDuel favorite pitcher and stack, my friend. I promise you. Little Monster with the big compliment again, Deb. We have some crushes going on.
Great. And they won the $12 ticket.
What the heck? Wow. How about that? Very nice. You know what? I'm telling you, your fan base is growing. I told you it's going to be deluxe Coach Talk. Very good stuff. Well, let's talk about the weather because that affects this main slate. It definitely does. So we're going to focus on the main slate tonight, which is 10 games on DraftKings, sort of. I'll explain. And 8 games on Fanduel and Yahoo. So that's number one. Secondly, we have 3 games that I think will be affected by the weather. 2 for sure. The third one, I'm not real confident in either. I'm, as of right now, Deb, fading for sure the Baltimore and the Mets game. Yeah. And the reason being is, again, I know the Baltimore game did play yesterday and all of that, but I'm not racing to get to these teams anyway. Yep. You've got questionable weather, colder temps, and we have a bunch of West Coast and Southern games where the weather's perfect or they're in a dome. So I don't see the reason to stress out trying to jam somebody in a game that has the potential of not playing. And that brings me to the third game I'll mention, which is the one in Boston, which has the best chance of the 3 to play, but we're in the same scenario. Wind blowing in, 50 degrees. Do you really want to, sweat out having somebody there? Now, if, the other part of it is they'll say, well, coach, what about the pitchers? Nobody wants to hit when it's 50 and the wind blowing in. Yeah, but what if those games get a delay or any rain? None of those teams are in a pennant race. None of them need to, win that game to qualify, or they've either been eliminated or whatever the case may be. So why would anybody, push a pitcher through that? So I wanted to get that straight out on the front side. Is for me, we'll talk about briefly those 3 games, but I'm definitely fading Baltimore game, the Mets game, and the game in Boston as of now. So what are your thoughts, Deb?
100% there with you, Coach. I took a look. At one point, I was thinking about the Mets as a little stack, given that they're really trying to get that number 3 seed. But honestly, just given that, they're at like a 50% chance of rain right now. I don't trust it. I don't think it goes off without at least some kind of delay. And the only other guy I was looking at was maybe a guy or 2 on Tampa Bay. But again, with the number of games we have tonight, just not worth it. I've been burned too many times by that, kind of the delays and the, switch ups and things like that. And I certainly wouldn't go after pitchers if there's a risk of a delay. So correct. I'm right there with you.
And then on DraftKings, as I mentioned, there were 2 extra games than on Fanduel and Yahoo. And that's because they are both second games of the doubleheaders are involved in their plays, except the second game of the Mets game, which I think is going to get rained out anyway, is not going to accrue points. So don't let that screw you up.
Yeah, don't put them in your lineup.
Yeah. So again, I think what happens at the end of baseball season is they are so involved with football and everything, they misprice and they don't really follow through on things the way they should. So the bottom line is we've done all that work for you. We're going to give you our best play ups and fades and all of that. We're going to go through it for you here, and then we're going to supply, as we always do, full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo, and we'll give you that core 7 single entry and GPP in DraftKings. So love to have you join us if you haven't already. DFSCoachTalk.com. As you can see scrolling on the bottom, 2 things. Number 1, this podcast is presented by Boom Fantasy. I've been meeting a bunch lately with Boom and bouncing stuff off each other, and it's really a great relationship that we have with them. And we have a link right attached here in YouTube. We have one attached in Twitter and on TikTok and on our website, dfscoachtalk.com. If you click on that, you can download the app, and they'll match you dollar for dollar up to $100 on your first deposit. We have a couple of plays that we're going to give you, our top 2 each here before the podcast is over. And then we'll add a couple extra for our members in Discord before lock. So hi, Tony A. What's up? David Dulac's in. That is great to see. We have everybody filtering in. We always drag our feet that first 5 minutes, because it never fails. People drift in.
Never fails.
Good stuff, though. We're really happy to have you on a Tuesday afternoon. Now, I want to mention one thing, too, on the jump here. Tomorrow is a weird time because it's a weird day. Crash and I are going to be on at 1:45 p.m. Eastern because all the MLB games start at 4 o'clock Eastern. They're weird. Yeah, they don't want anybody to have an advantage of an early or late game. Okay. So they're starting all the games at the same time. So we're going to do that at 1:45.
Nice.
What's up, Pain? Feel the pain. Dead presidents. We got you covered all the way around. Couple of things. Let's see. 2 brains better than 1 today. We didn't talk about it, but we could do one, ad lib one if you want.
Hey, why not? Right? We can do that.
Earl calls it. We'll go for it. We'll do it on the fly here. Let's see. What else was there? Oh, we're going to give away a pair of tickets here. We're going to give away the two of the $3 Millie Maker tickets to try to take down that. We didn't have anybody do it this weekend, but we're hoping somebody can grab it this week. So we'll do that towards the end of the podcast for sure. All right. That is most of the stuff I wanted to go over. I guess it's time to dive in.
I love it. Let's do it.
Rodney Pollard, you're here front and center, my man. A little tardy, but we love you anyway. He used to be the first one in every day.
We got a good group today.
I know. I'm just spoiled with all awesome members. So yes, we will do the, we don't do a DK two brains because they do not allow providers to give full lineups, and some do anyway, but you can get banned if you do that. And we follow the rules here. So that's why we only give out 7-man cores in baseball and cores in all of our sports, because we follow those DraftKings rules. Those don't exist at Fanduel and Yahoo. That's why we do the two brains on Fanduel. But you can transition a lot of those Fanduel selections over to DraftKings. As you know, as a member, you see my lineups, and there's a lot of crossover. So, all right, any weather concerns? That's an understatement, Tony A.
Seriously.
Yeah, as we mentioned, everybody else, as of right now, Deb and I are not playing Baltimore, Boston, or the Mets. All 3 games right now we're fading. We'll update that in Discord and on Twitter for non-members. All right, here we go. 7:05. The first game is one of those rain games. Well, the first 2 are that we're not really playing, but we'll go over them real quick. If they do go and we throw them in, we want to at least talk about them. Blue Jays and Orioles, 7.5 is the total, 50 degrees, wind blowing in 12 miles an hour, and only a 95% chance of rain, Deb. That's all. 3.67 implied for Toronto, 3.83 for Baltimore, Mitch White and Mike Bauman. Anything dive out if this does get in under the wire?
Yeah, I mean, if it gets in, I definitely like a couple of the bats in here. Mitch White has not, done anything too special.
No.
I like the top of the order with Mullins and Rushman, I mean, honestly, I think at 95%, I think you got to be sitting there to the last minute if you want to get those guys in. So I'm out on it.
I agree completely. If the game does go, if God shows up and splits the clouds and everything clears, that's about what it's going to take. But if it does, Deb, I'm going to stack the living daylights out of Baltimore. I want every lefty in that lineup. Mullins, Rutschman, Santander, and Gunnar Henderson. They're the first 4 in the lineup for Baltimore. Their lineup is out. So I wish to heaven's sakes it would play. I just really don't believe it is, but I think it's a beautiful stack if it does.
Even on the Toronto side as well, there's some some players to go after. They're a little more expensive, obviously, but so
I just don't think it happens, but we'll see.
Okay.
The other rain game that's more likely to play, it's only a 53% chance of rain, so it's a 50-50 game that you could definitely play, and it might be the one that sneaks in. Again, though, it's not conducive. It's Tampa at Boston. It's 55, which is cool. 12 miles an hour, dead in from the green monster there and left. And Vegas knows that it's only a 7 total, which is super low for a game in Boston. 3.59 implied for the Rays, 3.41 for the Red Sox. Jeffrey Springs, the lefty, 7.4K against Nathan Eovaldi, 8.1. So if this game sneaks in, you're looking at this one at all.
If you can, if you want to play it, I think, a couple of guys, I'm not a huge fan of Eovaldi. So a couple of guys I was looking at were Wander Franco and even real cheap at minimum of Jose Siri at the bottom of the lineup there. But, and I like Springs a little bit better as a pitcher. Again, if it goes, but I'm not putting anybody at all from this game in my lineup.
Yeah, and I mean it's a tweener game for me on top of that because I respect Springs a lot, and Eovaldi's good when he's pitches. He's not going to pitch deep, but enough that he can shut down some of those Rays bats. So both lineups are in. The lineups look okay, but with the weather and the decent pitchers, I very doubt that I'm going to get to this game whether it plays or not.
Yeah.
All right, now we got a game that will play because it's going to be a closed roof. That is the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. Condolences there to Mr. Crash. He's a diehard Brewers guy. Some of our members are too. Hated to see them get knocked out, but at least they showed guts and pulled that game out yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, eliminated last night, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it is 6.5 total is all. It's 3.34 implied for the Diamondbacks, 3.16 for the Brewers. Zach Gallen, who's been looking pretty popular, 9.4K. Eric Lauer, the lefty, 8.8K. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Gallen, big fan. I have been all season. He's done real well for me, and I think tonight he's up against a Milwaukee team that just got eliminated, so they're not going to be too motivated to play. So I think he's actually my payout pitcher tonight.
Nice.
And, on the other side of things with Lauer, I mean, he's just been so hit or miss. He did have a great outing last time, but he's not someone that I can really trust, and he's not that cheap either. So, so I am not going to, he's not going to be in my player pool. But that being said, I think it's a pretty low scoring game overall. And so I'm really not looking for any hitting, per se from this game. It's really just Zach Gallen is my is my key spot there.
Yeah, and that's Crashes threw that in Discord earlier. He loves Zach Gallen tonight too.
Wow. So okay,
you guys are on the same wavelength there.
Nice.
That's excellent. I want to say hi to Jumpin' Joe K. He joined since the last time. Why don't we look at pitching ownership to talk about Gallen a little bit? Let's see where we stand right now on projected ownership for pitching. DraftKings has chalk Sean Manaea. Is that ever a good thing? Chalk Sean Manaea? He's 35%. Then you've got your man Zach Gallen, 26, Verlander, 24, Urias, 22, Giolito, 14, Springs, 8, everybody else 5 and lower. So interesting. A little bit different on Fanduel. Manaea's 23, Verlander's 20, Gallen is 17, Urias 11, Giolito 9, everybody else below 4. And projected on Yahoo, Manaea, it's close here. The top 3 within 1.5. Manaea 37.8, Urias 35.7, and Verlander 35.4. And right behind them, a popular get jiggy with it man here, Giolito at 28.
Yeah.
Zach Gallen at 21. So he's 5th on Yahoo.
Okay.
And Jeffrey Springs at 11. Eric Lauer and Michael Lorenzen grabbing some at 9. And then that's it there. So very interesting. I think Gallen's fairly owned there. I think that is a very fair direction to go today. And the other thing, though, that I'm waiting on, Deb, and sometimes it's going to happen when we do these podcasts, we don't have the Milwaukee lineup yet.
Yeah.
And my reasoning here is this. I want to see if they're just going to give a bunch of guys the day off because they're eliminated, they're exhausted, they're deflated. Because, the bottom line is if they play just a funky garbage lineup, then I am going to go up to Gallen with you. If they don't, though, and it's a regular Milwaukee bats, I think I'm going to go. I'll just say it now. I'm going to go to Justin Verlander as the pay up instead.
Okay.
So that's the differentiator for me. So if the lineup drops for the Brewers when we're on here, we'll talk about it. As of now, Gallen is my 1A secondary choice. But I do want to see that Brewers lineup if it drops.
All right. We'll keep an eye out for that. All right.
And then as far as hitters in this game, not really crazy about either side. I mean, I think Lauer's pitched well enough that he can give them trouble. Certainly appreciate Gallen and not going to go in either direction there.
I'm with you there.
All right. 8:05, we have that Yankees-Rangers game. So that's the game that I'm not sure. Is it anywhere? Is that game
it's in
on
Texas?
I know. You're hilarious. I mean, is it on any of the sites?
Yeah,
I know it's not on Fanduel and Yahoo, but I don't know if
it's on DK. It is
it
on
is
DK.
on DraftKings. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought so. That one was on there, and the Mets aren't. So that's
Yes.
really
Confusing.
wacky. So this ends up being a major difference on DraftKings and everybody's builds then, because the question is, do you go there? Do you go to that game?
Yeah.
So it looks like, do you have Garrett Cole versus Colby Allard?
I do.
Okay. So
And
that's
it's in Texas.
It's in Texas.
I'm
Yep.
just kidding.
I know that.
Yeah.
So if anybody has anybody different than that, Cole and Allard, let us know. But that's what we're going with right now.
Yep.
So, is Cole going to get ownership is the question. And are you interested?
Yeah, no, I'm a fade on Cole. I'm a fade on, well, we'll talk about it a little later. I'm a fade on the big guns. I just think with the playoffs coming, I don't think anyone's going to get real stretched out. I think, obviously they're keeping them in the rotation. The Yankees do have a bye in the first round, so they'll want to kind of keep him fresh, but I don't see him, going, 7-8 innings. And he has not been consistently paying off that price.
Right.
So I'm staying away from Cole. Allard's a mess, so I do like the Yankees as a stack for DraftKings. And I think they could actually, we can take a look at the stacks, right, and see where they are right now.
Yeah, we could do that. Do you think Judge gets 62? This number 62 tonight?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you're going to pay up for Judge, huh?
I think he's fired up to do it, and Texas doesn't have great pitching, so
no, their bullpen's bad too.
Even if they pull Allard out, he hasn't had much. He hasn't seen Allard much in his career, but I think he is. What is he? He's 1 for 3 with a home run. So he's hit a home run off Allard already, and I think if they go into their bullpen, he has a real shot at it there as well.
Yeah, I like the Yankees are tough too. They're in a tough, good spot here, no doubt about it. The ownership you asked for, DraftKings has the Dodgers number 1 at 20%. So they're dead chalk here on this slate. The Yankees are second though, Deb. 9.5, but 9.5 is all. So that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
And I think the reason is we're not sure what the rest of the Yankees lineup's going to look at like after Judge. It might be Judge and Scrubs again. We don't know what that's going to be made up of. But if it's a lot of the regulars, I think the Yankees are a great stack as well. Right behind them, the White Sox, just under 9.5. The Rays at 8. Baltimore, we don't think it's going to play, 6.5. Oakland, 6%, which I couldn't understand. Wow. Minnesota, 5.5. Everybody else just very, very little ownership. So it's really Dodgers, Yankees on DraftKings. On FanDuel, massive Dodgers, 26.5%. Wow. White Sox at 11. Tampa, 8. Angels, 7.5. Minnesota, 7. Boston, 6.5. San Diego and Baltimore, 5.5. Okay. Everybody else very low. And for the clean sweep on chalk's stack, the Dodgers, 19% on Yahoo. Padres second at 11. Tampa, Arizona, and Baltimore at 8. The Angels, Astros at 7, and the White Sox and Blue Jays at 6.
Okay.
So interesting. I mean, other than the Dodgers, you don't have to feel as though you have to have much,
Right. Exactly. Like you have to, you have to stay away from any of the popular stacks. Not really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think about, what's the rest of the breakout for you then on this game?
Yeah. So, so I do like I said, we'll see who plays for the Yankees, but I really like LeMahieu if he plays. I like the top of the order there.
Okay.
It is a little pricey, but I think the way the rest of my lineup construction is going, I can kind of get a guy or two in there. I don't really like anyone on Texas. I think Cole will be solid, and I think they handle them pretty easily. So yeah, so I'm probably going with some of the chalkier players at the top of the New York lineup.
Yeah, I think that's the case. We have to see the lineup first for sure.
Yeah.
But on DraftKings, I will have some exposure to the Yankees bats. I'm not sure if I can get to Judge or not. I do like him tonight, though.
Yeah.
I think, I really think he has a chance to get that homer. And I'm going to try to fit him in. I'm going to have to go with my cheaper SP2 that I'll mention here as my value play. And if I do stick with that, I'll probably do a second lineup and either, add, depending on the Milwaukee lineup, I may to Verlander, who I'm playing, and I'll explain that when we get there. But I'll either add a second stud like Gallen or possibly Cole, because I do think Cole goes 7 here. And
okay.
I think he's pitching great, and Texas stinks, man. They're just not good. And that is such a hard stadium to hit the ball in. I mean, there was a couple of shots yesterday to dead center that I thought were gone. And they were just died. So interesting there. I think you really have to make a decision. I'll have 2 lineups tonight, more so than one like I normally do. One with a true SP1-2, and then with 2 buy-up pitchers where I will not have any Dodgers in that one. So
yeah.
But
it's funny. I've because it's only on DK. I've been playing around with 2 DK lineups as well. One that has a Yankee stack and one that has the other stack that I like. So there's definitely a distinction there. So he is not my home run call tonight, even though I do think there's a good shot he hits it.
I do too.
I have a guy I like better.
Yeah, I don't have him as my home run call. I'd like to, but I do not. All right, let's go to the next one. We've got an 8-10 game. We've had beautiful weather in Chicago for any of our members that are Chicago people, but you always think this time of the year you're going to run into some troubles, but it's been beautiful there. No wind or anything. It's crazy. Minnesota, Chicago, 8-10 game, 63 comfortable degrees, just a slight breeze. 7.5 is the total. 3.5 implied for Minnesota, 4 for the White Sox. Josh Winder, 6.1K against Lucas Giolito, who, as we said, getting quite a bit of ownership in that top 4 or 5 on every site. He's 8.5K. What do you think?
Yeah, he's been solid. I mean, I definitely considered him. Ultimately, he did not make my lineup. I'm going with a slightly, well, I should say a lot lower owned option that I think can perform as well. So I did not go with him. I don't particularly like the way he pitches against righties, and there's a decent number of righties in the lineup. So I just decided to not go with it. I don't have a lot going on this game at all. Even though Winder does give up hits and runs and has done so against the White Sox bats have been dreadful lately.
Yeah, they really did quit.
Yeah, and so I just this game does not excite me. I think it's sort of a kind of a mundane game, and I just couldn't get excited about putting anyone in my lineup.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just didn't want to get to that 8.5 salary with Giolito quite, even though I don't think the Minnesota bats are any good. I don't think he's a bad play at all.
No.
And, I'd probably be a one-off White Sox bat like a Moncada or a Sheets. They're cheaper than the other guys. They're lefties. So I think you could, a one-off on either side, maybe a Nick Gordon batting cleanup for Minnesota at 3.3K is a decent play as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the 8-10 game. It's the Phillies and Astros. Total is 7, 2.88 for the Phillies and 4.12 for the Astros. And just as I thought, the reason why Verlander's my buy-up today is I do firmly believe that he gets 7 innings in. I think he's going to pitch 95 pitches, whatever, I think he's going to get his regular work because they have a bye. And I love it because the Phillies clinched last night. They're hungover, and I knew that they would put out a joke of a lineup. So here's their lineup tonight: Harper and then Bohm. Okay. Then it goes Hall, Marsh, the dreaded Brandon Marsh cleanup hitter, Stotts, Matten, Verling, Guthrie, and Stubbs. So you tell me, Verlander should be able to do that with his left-handed. You know what I'm saying?
With 3 fingers. Yep.
3 fingers brown. I'm going Justin Verlander here, man. I think I'm looking at 7 shutout innings, 9 strikeouts, winning lineup.
He's certainly the chalk.
Where's he the chalk at?
Isn't he the chalk?
He's not the chalk anywhere.
Oh, I thought he was the chalk.
I read you this. I
thought he was the chalk.
You are not paying attention, Deb. Justin Verlander is 3rd to Manaea and Gallen on DraftKings.
And that on DK.
He's only at 24%. And I love him there. He's 2nd to Manaea at only 20% on Fanduel, which isn't bad. And he's 3rd at 35% on Yahoo. So
that's pretty chalky. Come on.
I mean, a little chalky, but not like dead chalk. I think he should be 60% owned tonight. I think people are afraid that he's not going to go deep enough.
Yeah, I am. I got to tell you, I'm one of those people.
I'd be shocked if he didn't have at least 95 pitches tonight.
Yeah, probably. Although he hasn't had a 95. He had 101 his last outing. Before that, he had 95 in about 4 outings. So.
Well, he was stretching out. He's now stretched out. This will be his last start.
He's stretched and ready to go.
Last start before the playoffs.
All right. I will play Coach's lineup with Verlander. Mine will not have Verlander.
All righty. So there we go.
I think there's a really great story. You're absolutely right. There's a really great story for Verlander tonight. And
it just makes all those reasons.
You said it very well. Yeah. There's just this little thing in the back of my neck that's like, these Phillies guys who are like, ooh, I finally get my chance to bat. Mr. Marsh is like, I finally get the chance to bat cleanup. And they're just going to
just walk to the dugout after taking strike 3 is what they're going to do. So.
All right. I think it's very fair.
Any Houston bats for you?
So no. And it's because Ranger Suarez is my value pitcher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, I am going with Suarez. I think he's got a great price. He's been very consistent. He's, stretching out for the playoffs now that they're in. So he's super excited. He wants to show his stuff. He's been really, really consistent. Given that I think he's at 1% ownership. Yeah. So I really, from a GPP standpoint, I really like him.
Interesting. I mean, it's an interesting play. I don't think it's a bad play. And here's the thing with Houston, they're starting all their regulars. Okay. So that's nice for the Astros bats. But here's the problem. They pinch hit guys halfway through the game last night. Yeah. Altuve was pinch hit for in the 5th. So they're going to do that throughout the game, I think. Yeah. I think you're going to see. So I'm not going to go with any of the Astros bats simply because I don't think you're going to get a full game from a lot of them. You may with some of them, but it's hit or miss. And I don't want to risk that. And I respect Suarez enough that, that I think that's, you got to be careful there. But I'm not with you enough on Suarez to think that they can't do some damage against him before somebody gets pulled. Okay. They still have some big bats in that lineup. And so for me, it's going to be Verlander and pass on everybody else in this one.
Okay.
All right. Anybody with me on Suarez? Who played that one? I think you're begging for some help. Did you just phone a friend? All right, let's go to the next one.
Let's do it.
It is the Tigers and Mariners. Pat on the back to Crash and I. We were the only people in the industry that completely faded Kirby yesterday. Everybody loved Kirby. So that was a fun one to fade.
And
Tonight,
this one is this one on the slate? Because I don't have it on the main slate.
Detroit and Seattle's not on any slate anywhere. Let me see. That is a good question. I did not see it. I'm going to look. Anybody in chat want to give us their input on, is this Detroit Seattle game in the mix? Let me see. Upcoming lineups. My question, is this like a makeup game or something? What's the deal here? I will look on Fanduel.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on Fanduel. I'm not seeing it on.
It has to be on DraftKings, doesn't it? Check DraftKings. It's not on Fanduel.
No. Nope.
Why is this game such a weird game? Was it not on the initial schedule? It's not on main Fanduel.
Yeah. And I don't think it's on.
It is on the 6 Turbo on DK, though.
On the Turbo, yeah.
On the Turbo.
But not on the main slate.
Not on the main slate. So, you know what? We're playing the main slate tonight.
Yeah.
So we're not even going to concern ourselves with this nonsensical game.
Right.
We don't have lineups.
Nope.
It's Elvin Rodriguez. I think he's one of the Chipmunks, if I'm not mistaken. And Matt Brash. So if you want to play that game, God bless you. It's almost like me playing NBA preseason tonight. Oop.
Exactly.
That slipped.
3-star lineups.
That slipped. Yeah, 2.5-star lineup for sure.
Exactly.
And nothing worse than a 0, that's for sure. All right, we're going to get back on track here with the Angels and Athletics. That game is definitely on the slate.
On the slate. I love this game.
Oh, okay. It's 66 degrees. No wind, 7.5 total, 4 implied for the Angels, 3.5 for the A's. Michael Lorenzen, 6.8K. Cole Irvin, the lefty, 7K. What do you love?
I am stacking the heck out of the Angels.
The Angels.
They are my stack. They are low owned. They have hit, Irvin is like hitting off of a tee, and they've hit them well. They're already, they've been out, but they've adjusted. They've got a good lineup. Rendon is back, and up and down. I've got my BVP and my home run call in this game.
Holy, wow. Okay.
I know. All right. So BVP, Mr. Fletcher batting leadoff. Okay. He's just 11 for 20 against Irvin.
Oh, that's not bad.
With a homer and 5 RBIs. So really nice sample size. Guys batting .550 with a 1.391 OPS.
All right. Do you know for sure he's leading off? I don't have a confirmed lineup.
Let me double check.
I have him projected batting 9th, just to keep it in your ear so you're watching.
Okay. Let me see. I had it confirmed, but let me double check. No, you're right. Not confirmed. Why did I have it as confirmed?
Because I think Rengifo generally has been leading off against lefties and murdering them. So.
Yeah. Well, I like Rengifo as well. So I'm all about. So what do you have then? You've got Rengifo batting first.
Well, this is not confirmed. But what I have is Rengifo, Trout, Ohtani, Ward, Rendon, Anthony Rendon.
Yeah, he's back.
Why would he be in this projected lineup?
He's back.
Oh, my God. Matt Duffy, Joe Adele, Kurt Suzuki, and David Fletcher. So Rendon coming back for the last couple of games. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, I really like Fletcher. Even in the 9 spot, I like him. We could take it around the top of the lineup. Sure. I like Renegfro. I really like Ohtani. So Ohtani is my home run call.
Gotcha.
So he's faced Irwin 25 times. He's actually 8 for 25 with 2 home runs.
Nice.
So he's my home run call. Fletcher's my BVP. I also like Ward, depending on where he's batting. So we'll have to wait and see. But I basically those are my 4 favorites. But I could definitely see easily playing 4 guys. I think who was it? Tony A has a good call. He says Rendon only had 2 at bats last night, so be careful. He may not get a full allotment of it back.
I would not take that gamble. No way.
No. So he's not one of the guys to consider. You could consider Trout as well, but I'm going with Ohtani instead. And I really, really like it. I think, there's some good pitchers tonight. You've got some guys being rested. There's not a lot of strong hitters. The Angels have their full lineup in as far as we know. We'll see. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but that is that's my top stack of the night.
I love it. And it should be that heavy of a stack. Will probably be pretty darn contrarian. So I love it. I think you're onto something there. I want to say real quick hi to Big Bino, Big Bino, I'm going to call him. I'm not sure which way it is, Bino or Bino. We'll say Bino.
We'll call him BB.
Phil Stills in there, little monster, and I got to pick a bone here with David Dulac scheduling grocery time during the podcast. What is that all about? Can't do that.
Time to get Instacart.
That's right. You can just go drive up and put them right in your trunk, and you can, miss any of the podcast. What the heck? All right. So anyway, that's an interesting take. I'll be rooting for the Angels completely with you, but for a completely different reason. My value pitcher is Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah.
He's only 6.8K, and pairing him up with Verlander lets me get to some of the Dodgers bats and some of these other bats that I'd like to get to. And Lorenzen's been really good. People are going to say, Coach, he's only pitched 5 innings like every game. You know what? He does, but it's tricky. He does get deep in counts, and it's not like he's on a big pitch count. He went 102 pitches the last game, 99 before that. And in those short amount of innings, 5 and 5, he had 45 fantasy points on Fanduel, 27, 30, 20. So he's consistently been good, and he strikes out a lot of guys, even in deeper counts, 6, 7, and 8 strikeouts the last 3 games. I just like him in this spot. I think he'll get some run support, like you said. And, I like to pick on Oakland, and I like to pick on that ballpark. And I just love the spot for him. I think he's really a great value play.
I like it.
All right. As far as bats go, Rengifo's my home run call tonight against Irvin. So we're both on him. I do think he leads off, and I know he's expensive. He used to be like 2.6, then he went up to 3s. He's at 4.8 now.
Crazy, right?
They've lost their mind on old. He was our cheap play, but what I'm hoping is that high price scares people off and it reduced, because when he was cheap, he was dead chalk. So maybe some of the people get off him. I love your call on Ohtani. Where I do go with Lorenzen, my big decision is going to be between Ohtani or Judge. I can't do both of them.
Yeah.
And that's such a tough call because my heart wants to take Judge. Slight advantage to Ohtani because I do think he could homer tonight for sure. Yeah. So it's a tough call. And then nothing for me on the Oakland side at all.
Yeah.
All right. We've got 3 games left. 9:40s, the Giants and Padres. 70 degrees in San Diego. Perfection is normal. No wind. 7's the total. 3.17 implied for the Giants. 3.83 for the Padres. Jarrell Cotton, 4K is all he's 2,500 cheaper than Judge as a pitcher. And Sean Manaea, now there's your dead chalk.
I don't get that. Can someone explain that to me? I don't get that at all.
I mean, the guy's not pitched well. I think I don't like him either. I don't like him.
And San Fran, I mean, I don't love the San Fran bats, but they're playing in San Diego, perfect weather. They've actually hit Manaea pretty decently. I like a couple of those bats. I like Wilmer Flores in particular, maybe Yastrzemski, but I don't see it. I don't see the chalk there. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't get it either. I know that, people see the 6.5K price. They see a crappy Giants lineup, which it is, but I mean, I just don't, he hasn't been overpowering at all. No. And I just don't see it. I mean, he's my fade pitcher.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable doing that here. We do this at Coach Talk a lot. Crash and I, and you and I both, we're not afraid to fade chalk. I mean, a lot of people in the industry are at least going to play him along with the field and all that baloney, or a little under and still play him at 25%. Well, if you have 20 grand and you want to play 150 max in all these contests on all the sites, God bless you. But for those of us that are in the real world, which is most of us, I think he's a great fade here. And even if he has a good game, is he really going to bury us? You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not going to throw 55 up on the board, is he? No, I don't see it.
No way. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm comfortable with it. Big Lanny's in here. The party can start. Lanny's in. Get out the ham sandwiches, man. He's here. And King of Smack. He's
better
back
than never, Mr. Smack.
He had his big anniversary special. Still caught the podcast on the anniversary trip, though.
Has King of Smack won more than anyone else on our? I feel like his name gets called all the time.
Oh, he's a big winner, and he's been raking it in, man. He's a goat. He's up there in goat status there, King of Smack. All right, let's move forward. We've got two other games. The one game is the game that we're saying isn't going to play, which I don't think it does. Nationals at the Mets. It's 10-10 game. Why is it 10?
I don't think so. It's in New York. I think they don't know what time it's going to start. I guess because it's the second game of the doubleheader.
Okay.
So I have it as 7:40, but
I'm not messing with the game.
No,
period.
Me neither.
So it's Espino versus Walker. I see rain in New York. It's just a crap game. I just go elsewhere, is my opinion.
Move on.
All right, 10-10. We do have a game with tons of ownership and interest here, and it's Colorado Rockies, LA Dodgers. It is a 70-degree night in LA. It's all you LA people, California people, beautiful weather right now. 8 miles an hour out to center, 70 degrees, 7.5 total, 2.39 implied for the Rockies, very low, and 5.11 for the Dodgers. So that's why they are the chalk stack. How many Dodgers are enough Dodgers, Deb?
Yeah, I'm not excited about going after the chalk here with the Dodgers. I think one's enough. They're super expensive. There's no motivation to really put anything out there. They can just sort of play loose. They could get, but they could get, pinch hit for. I love bets. I may see if I have some room for bets as a cheaper option to judge. Other than that, I'm not going after the chalk on this one. I took a long, hard look at Urias. He's had a great season. I mean, incredibly low ERA, but he doesn't strike out that many. And, he goes about 6, never really goes to beyond 90 pitches. So he ended up not being my choice either, but I wouldn't fault someone for putting him in the lineup. I think he's as much a guarantee of points as any of the pitchers, but certainly for a GPP, I'm not going after him. I don't think there's a lot of upside there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I will have some Dodgers in my lineup. I'm going to try to have at least 2. If there's any way to get to 3, I'll do it. Their lineup isn't out yet, but Feltner's terrible. And so, again, there is a little worry, especially toward the bottom of the lineup, of pinch hitting. And, that always becomes an issue depending on what the lineup looks like tonight. But I do think the top of that lineup with Betts, the 2 Turners, Freeman, Muncy, those are the core guys. I'd like to try to get to a couple of them because I do want to have a few of those, guns in the holster going into that late game because I think you're going to need it. And I'm not going to be a full stack. The price is just way too high, man. 5.9, 6, 5.75 for Betts, Turner, Freeman, and Muncy. That's you just can't. It just crushes you everywhere else if you go too deep. So I'll have some exposure, but
I'm with Tony A. I the one lineup I do have one that I'm looking at with Betts and one that I'm looking at with Thompson, and that's where Tony A is going. And I think Thompson, I mean, he's a good value, and he's been hitting the heck out of the ball the last week or so.
Yeah,
so
he homered last night.
Yeah, so he's potentially an option, but I'm certainly not going to stack him.
I do want to see that lineup though, because they may tweak it around a little bit, and that's going to have an effect. I'm with you on Urias, and here's the problem. Right now, what I've seen is they have Urias and Haney listed. So I think we're going to maybe get 3 or 4 innings from each guy kind of thing, just as tune-ups for the playoffs. So I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole. With all the good options on the board, there's no guarantee that, Urias is going to go deep at all. And if Haney's going to be the secondary guy, generally that means they really limit, the first guy. So that's what I'm seeing anyway.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go to any pitching there. And I do like CJ Cron though. CJ Cron, believe it or not, is my BVP play.
Wow.
I know. I think he's 7 for 23 against Urias, and I don't trust Haney either. I think Haney stinks.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 extra base hits, 2 homers, 957 OPS, 652 slugging, 304 OBP and average. So Cron is my secret little super low owned guy that I'm going to have on the other side of the ball tonight in that late game, hopefully paired up with 2 of the Dodgers. And then Rengifo, by the way, I know you mentioned it, but I just want to drive that home if he is playing tonight. He is batting 500 against Cole Irvin, by the way, with a couple of homers, a 1462 OPS, 929 slugging, 533 OBP, and he's been hot. So if he is in that leadoff spot, he's going to be a lock-in for me, even at the higher price than what he's been. So that is what I think. Any other info on this Colorado LA game that you have?
That's it.
Wow, we got the big boys in here today. Sean V is in here. There you go. I want to see the Yankees lineup. I'm with you, man. I don't think it's going to be all the regs at all. I think it's going to be Judge and a lot of spooky guys. I still wouldn't play Allard. I wouldn't play him. I would not do it. Doug L's going to pass on the Dodgers. I don't know if you can afford to completely.
I'm with you, Doug. I'm with you.
I want to say, Tony, somebody said it earlier that the Mets game 1 has just started. So that gives me a little pause of concern. Do they get game 2 in? And who the hell knows what time it's going to start?
I think that rain just keeps coming. So I think it started. The rain was supposed to be lighter. Come on, you're the meteorologist. You should.
I'm not playing it. I've already said I'm not playing it. I mean, this game 1 had a chance to go. Game 2, I think, has a very less chance to go. And I don't like the game anyway. If it was a Coors game or something where you just make or break you. But I mean, I just don't like the game. So whether the Mets play or not, I'm not going there. I'm just not going to go there.
Yeah, it's not raining there yet, but it's like
it will.
Yeah, it definitely will. So
it's coming.
It could go real low ownership play. That's for sure. If it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are going to do 2 brains are better than 1, as suggested by one of our wonderful people in our chat. So let me get on here. This is an impromptu, so we're gonna make this work. You can have the first pick, Deb.
Wow, the first pick. Okay, this is big. All right, let me.
And this is a Fanduel GPP, so it can be a little quirky, and we've had some success with it in the past. So, we may get out.
Good. I'm trying to find a.
Too much pressure.
Find one to enter into. Now I was gonna. All right, so here we go. Okay, so first pick of the draft. Huh? All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Mr. Ohtani.
Okay. again, you and I have a tendency to spend all the money like right away.
Exactly.
All right. I got to check something real quick to see if we got a Brewers lineup yet. Let me just double check because that has a lot to do with a couple of decisions. Yes, we did. The Brewers lineup dropped. It's Yelich, Renfroe, Wong, Urias, Hira, Mitchell, Taylor, Narvaez, and Brousseau. So it's not a mail it in lineup.
No, not by any means.
So that's a good thing to know. All right. I know you're going to get upset with this play because it's a GPP, but I'm still taking Justin Verlander. An 11-2. I know it. I knew you would.
I'm doing an alternate GPP today for the
stop being a baby. You got to just deal with it. Take a value guy. Crash takes all these $2,000 guys.
Oh man.
I knew you'd have a fit, but you had your chance to fill the spot.
Oh man, I had no idea you're going to do that to me.
I figured I'd stun you there, but that's where I'm going. I'm choking you up. Sorry,
I'm all choked up. This is out of control. I can't believe this now. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Renigfro at. I'm going to play him at
Rendifo. Don't disrespect my guy, man.
Rendifo with a G.
He was on my takedown lineup last week. So are you playing him at second or third?
I'm going to play him at third. At
third base, just to confuse me. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I'm taking first baseman CJ Cron, my
okay, right, your
BVP call.
All right.
So we're already down to 20 per body.
Well, then we're going to go with we'll save a little bit of money and we'll go with my David Fletcher at second for my
9-hitter probably.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But Rengifo's number one. Rengifo's one, so we'll swing it around.
You can play it. Yeah, the wraparound stack. What about him in shortstop? Would you prefer?
Right. I see you're leading the witness there. Sure, we'll play him at shortstop.
I'm trying to lead the witness.
We'll play him at shortstop.
All right. I appreciate your and now it does this. FanDuel locks me out when I try to switch the position on a guy. Like if you already put him in there and you try to switch it before you fill it, it won't let me switch it.
Really?
Yeah, it drives me crazy. This happens to me all the time. So I'm going to have to take a second baseman before I put your guy in there. Okay. So let's see here. I don't know if I have a guy that I want to play in there. By the way, that Brujan kid, that batted leadoff yesterday for Tampa, he's not good. Don't play him. He's batting seventh today, and he looked like he should be back in single A. So just my 2 cents worth. Not that I'm bitter at the young man.
No, clearly not.
All right. I can't find a guy at that position, so I'm going to go elsewhere, and then we're going to make this work. I'm going to make it. This is a strange play, but it's cheap and I like it. So I'm going to go shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we've got to switch.
Fletcher's back to second.
He's back to second.
Okay.
Because I want cleanup hitter for $2,200. When can you get a cleanup hitter for $2,200?
Is that Mr. Gordon?
Nick Gordon. Yeah.
All right. I like it. So
now we're back. We're right back in play on the money.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm going to spend some. I'm going to go with Mr. Mookie Betts.
How come he's not behind you on the screen?
I know. I didn't have time to.
So we're right back into the money lurch again with Betts play. $2,500 a spot for outfield and utility.
Oh, we got some good stuff here.
All right, so let's give this a gander here. Stick with us, folks. We want to make sure this is a winning one. You can't take any Angels against my Verlander, by the way. That's rule number one.
Phillies and Phillies. No Phillies.
Or Phillies. I mean, I was afraid you were going to take Marsh.
So. Oh, no.
That scared me a little bit.
I see a couple of guys. All right.
I think we might as well, since you mentioned him. I don't know if he's in the lineup, but
you talked about him. What about one of your White Sox guys?
Yeah, Sheets you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sheets. All right. I'll go Sheets 2,400. So that gives you 2,600 for utility.
Let's go Flores. I'm going to go Flores 2,400.
Wilmer?
Yeah, batting cleanup.
Okay. Let's see.
He's got some nice stats against Manaea.
Yes, and that's a nice play because he's not going to be very much owned because so many people are playing.
Yeah.
All right, so here we have 200 left on the table. If we have to make any changes to this lineup for non-members, we'll put it on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. For members, we'll post it in Discord. Justin Verlander, CJ Crone, David Fletcher, Luis Rengifo, Nick Gordon, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Gavin Sheets, and Wilmer Flores. So no Aaron Judge, but we're going to still be rooting for him.
Well, there's no Aaron Judge on Fanduel.
Oh, that's right. He's not on Fanduel. He's just on DraftKings only.
Right.
So good point. We don't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
All right, let me check just to see if people are going bonkers in here. 12 Ks in 4 innings for Sean V. That's why Sean V needs to be in here more often. When he and I are on the same page, it's lights out. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Who else is going here? I don't know. I see all kinds of stuff. I've lost total track of what's happening.
So apparently you're the pitcher whisperer and I'm the stack whisperer. Nice.
Okay.
I like it. Take it.
Accept that. Yeah.
So that's why our two brains is going to be great because we got Verlander and we got our Angels.
Yeah, because when Josh and I do a lineup, our brains equal up to 1.5. With you, they equal up to 2. So do the math.
What a relief, right?
So do you know what I'm saying there without saying it?
Oh yeah. Oh, you said it all right.
Squatch happens. Come on, Squatch. What do you got, my man? Good to see you in here. KJ, do I hear no Aaron Judge? No, we have Aaron Judge on DraftKings. He's not on the Fanduel slate, my friend.
So stacking the Angels. Yes, stacking the Angels. Who's saying?
Like KJ's like yeah. Not a 5-man, no. I'm not. No, when you're stacking them, Deb, are you thinking 3 or 4? So it's a mini stack.
I'm thinking 4.
Okay. For me, when I stack, generally I'm going 3-3-2 bills with the 3-man, but yeah, I don't know if I trust the 5-man. But I'll tell you what, if you are going to wrap around, it's not bad. It's not bad. And the BVP is good too. Yeah. All right, let's do our Boom Fantasy 2 selections of the day. I'll do mine first so you can get ready. I'm going with Bobby Witt Jr. over a half a single. So there you go. That's my first play is Witt Jr. over a half a single.
We have to say boom every time you have a play. Boom.
Boom. My second play is JJ Bleday. So 2 weird ones, but it's only a half a hit. So I like him to get a hit. Oh, no, we have a sex bot in here. Woo! So everything's going bonkers today.
Yeah. 69
I got to block this stuff. Okay. So it's Witt Jr. over half a single, Bleday over a half a hit. Boom. What do you have?
Boom. So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, all the guys who are on here with over half a hit, I mean, I love it too. I'm right on it. Ohtani over half a hit. Boom. Right?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
I mean, he better get that or we're in trouble.
That home run.
Yeah.
And Wilmer Flores over half a hit. Boom.
Oh my, those are layups for you.
He's batting 368 against Manaea. I mean, come on. So we'll see. I wish I could play Boom in my state. That's all I'm saying.
I know it. Well, by the way, I'm so glad you brought that up. Tomorrow on the football podcast. So we have 2 podcasts tomorrow, everybody. A 1:45 Crash and I, because all the games are at 4 p.m. for baseball. That'll be our last regular season MLB podcast. Then at 6:50, which we do, or is that tomorrow? No, that's Thursday. Thursday at 6:50, we're going to have one of the big wheels at Boom Fantasy on with us. So
Oh,
we'll be
wow.
talking about states that are coming up. There are 26 states that take Boom right now that you can play Boom in, and that he'll be filling us in on that information on Thursday.
Nice.
So I correct myself. Tomorrow it's one podcast at 1:45, and then on Thursday, no baseball. It's the day off for baseball. Yeah, so 6:50 is the football podcast on Thursday. So then we get into the playoffs. So we got all kinds of stuff happening. So that is it. Great group in here today for a Tuesday afternoon. Deb, you bring them in. You
I love
stack
it.
them in
Love
here.
it. Packing the house.
So fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in today. We had some new folks. I'm going to give away 2 tickets now for if you haven't said hello at the buzzer here, you got to say hello, because only people in the live discussion here in chat get put into the 2 ticket giveaway. So last chance to jump in. Doug L, thumbs up. All right. Yes, Tony A, we are doing the 2 ticket. Thank you too. All right, here we go. Pushing the button.
All right.
And the winner is a new person that I don't know. Squatch Happens. Have we had Squatch Happens in before?
I don't recall. I don't think so, but I like it.
So Squatch Happens. That is what I call beginner's luck. Bang. You win 2 tickets, $3 tickets, but there are 2 free plays to the Millie Maker on DraftKings on Sunday. All you have to do is send me a quick DM at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter with your PayPal email, and I will send those right over to you. And you know what? I'm in such a good mood. We have such a great group in here, and I'm so proud of the fact that we have this larger group. I'm giving a second setup.
Woo! All right, Coach.
All right, the second winner, if you stayed, it was worth it. The second winner is Big Bino or Bino.
Hey,
Only one. Big Bino wins 1 ticket. Big Bino wins the other ticket, since I don't know how to pronounce it. So congratulations, Big Bino. Same thing. Send me a DM at DFS Coach Talk. If you want to join us, go to dfscoachtalk.com. On the way out, if I forgot to ask earlier, if it's on YouTube, quick thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little alert in the upper corner so you know when any of our podcasts post. We are going to be going to Dirk and Company. We're a matter of days away to everyday NBA podcasts, our sweet spot here at Coach Talk. So come on in, enjoy it. Join us with the NBA Lucas special membership that you see on the bottom of the screen. We do love you all. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Deb, for a great podcast. Appreciate you. And Devin, remember that Crash and I will be on earlier tomorrow at 1:45 p.m. because all the games play at 4. So it'll be a massive slate tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. And we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and Boom Fantasy.